Happy 420 YouTube, Thomas L here. Since it is 420, I decided to do my top 10 favorite stoner movies. Because there's been some really fun stoner films over the years. And anyway, here's my list. Coming in at number 10 is this 2012 comedy I once saw called High School. High School is hysterically funny. In the film, it stars Matt Bush, who's also on that show of The Goldbergs. Anyway, in the film, he actually he plays a high school senior named Henry Burke who smokes his very first joint, and so like his principal ends up finding the joint, and so his principal, by the way, is played by Michael Chiklis from the Shield fame. Anyway, so Michael Chiklis's principal character decides to have a drug test for all the students, and also Matt Bush's Henry character figures that he'll end up losing his college scholarship if they find out that it's him. So with the help of his friend played by Sean Marquette, who's also on the Goldbergs, they decide to do like a bake sale and get some weed and marijuana and add it in the brownies and should get all the school high, and then it's pretty much everyone who ends up failing the drug test because they're all high. So and they actually end up stealing drugs from a drug deal played wonderfully by Adrien Brody. This is probably my favorite Adrien Brody role, to be honest with you. I mean, I literally never knew how funny Adrien Brody could be when I saw this. He was great here. And this movie was really funny. I mean, it was pretty dumb at times, yeah, but it was dumb fun. I also like the chemistry between the two leads. Like I said, Adrien Brody was just great here. It was interesting, Michael Chiklis in a comedy like this, because he's done comedy before, but never really quite a comedy like this. And Michael Chiklis was actually really good here. And he actually was unrecognizable, too, because he actually had hair in this movie. Like, he had hair, and he had, like, glasses, a mustache. I mean, I literally did not hardly even knew that was Michael Chiklis until halfway through the film. But anyway, I mean, it's been a while since I've seen High School. I mean, I first saw it in theaters back in 2012, and I really enjoyed it. If you guys never had a chance to check out High School, if it's on TV or if it's on any streaming service or whatever, check out High School. I think you'll enjoy it. Alright, coming in at number 9 is a film called The Whackness. Now, this movie is pretty comedy, but it has like dramatic scenes in it too. I mean, the film stars Josh Peck from Drake and Josh fame as a teenage marijuana dealer named Luke Shapiro, who pretty much trades Steinbacks for sessions with his therapist named Dr. Squares, played by Ben Kingsley. And he actually ends up falling for his therapist's daughter, played by Olivia Dope. And I mean, this is a very different role for Josh Peck. I mean, of course, Josh Peck is best known for Nickelodeon stuff like All That and Drake and Josh, and he's done like adult roles before, like Mean Creek, but this is a very different role for him. I mean, I really love The Whackness. It was really funny. Josh Peck, I just thought he was terrific in this, and shows of how much of a great actor Josh Peck could be outside of Nickelodeon. And Ben Kingsley, this is probably one of my favorite Kingsley's performances in years. He was terrific in this. I mean, funny we got like 2 movies in this list that features an Oscar winner who pretty much like does drugs and all. That's kind of interesting to watch, but anyway. And also you got Mary Kate Olsen in this, which is a very different role outside of her Michelle Tanner role. I mean, we got like 2 actors in this, Josh Peck and Mary Kate Olsen, who have been in like kid, family based shows. But in this, they're very grown up. I mean, yeah, and believe it or not, I believe this. I could be mistaken, but this was actually Mary Kate Olsen's first film where she doesn't star alongside her sister. So there's a little tip for you guys with this film. Anyway, the movie was also directed by Jonathan Levine, who also did that Seth Rogen and Joseph Gordon-Levitt movie, 50-50, and he did a few other stuff. He did a great job with this. I mean, the movie, of course, takes place in the summer of 1994. And also, you also had Method Man, who is no stranger for stoner movies. And I'm gonna get you him, later on. Anyway, you also had Famke Janssen in this. She was great. Really amazing movie. If you guys never had a chance to check out the Whackness, like, do yourself a favor, check it out. I mean, I still own the movie on DVD, and I watch it occasionally. It's a really funny little gem. And kind of underrated. I mean, the movie got released in 2008. Not many people really talk about. I mean, it got great reviews and great reception, but it's kind of a movie that just went and gone. But it's a really good love film, though. Alright, coming in at number 8 is Half Baked. This movie is hysterical. I mean, speaking of Full House, in this you had a funny cameo by Bob Saget. I mean, there's like a scene. I don't want to like spoil the scene, but there's like a scene where Bob Saget's character admits that he has to do a little something for coke. Yeah, I mean, that scene is really hysterical. Also, you got Dave Chappelle in this. I mean, half. It's been a while since I've seen Half Baked, to be honest, but I've remember really enjoyed this movie when I first saw it. It's probably one of my favorite Dave Chappelle roles. He was great in this. I mean, in the film, it's about like when a member of their crew, when like a member of their crew gets arrested for killing a New York police horse by feeding it junk food. Three slacking stoners, one of which is played by Dave Chappelle, are forced to get off their butts and raise bail by selling pot stolen from like a lab. And so like these stand up guys who would do anything to help a friend in need, and they of course had to help him out and all that. I mean, I'll be down to see a sequel. It'll be cool seeing like some sort of sequel to this. I mean, Dave Chappelle is has been doing a lot of stuff lately, so it'll be cool seeing him back. And besides Dave Chappelle, you also had Guillermo Diaz. Jim Brewer was in this. You also had Holland Williams. They're pretty good, funny people. Like you also had Snoop Dogg, Tommy Chong. I mean, a couple of marijuana legends are in this. Really funny little film. I mean, if you guys still never seen it and you guys want another good stoner movie to watch, check this out. I mean, you don't even have to be a stoner to really appreciate this film. It's a really good one. Anyway, coming in at number 7 is Grandma's Boy. Now, this is one from Adam Sandler's production company, Happy Madison. And it's about this video game creator named Alex, played by Alan Covert, who, of course, have appeared in lots of Adam Sandler films. Anyway, he ends up, like, his house ends up being repossessed, and, he actually ends up being, not repossessed, but he actually ends up being convicted out of the house because of not paying rent. And he's, of course, a stoner. He's a slacker. And I mean, he's kind of not that much of a great person, to be honest with you. But anyway, he actually decides to live with his grandma and two of her friends. The grandma, by the way, is played by Doris Roberts from Everybody Loves Raymond fame. Outside of Everybody Loves Raymond, this is probably my favorite Doris Roberts role. She is hysterical in this. And her friends are played by two other legends, Shirley Jones and Shirley Knight. They were really funny in this. You also had the dude from Avatar and Hatchet, Joe David Moore, I think his name is. He was great. Peter Dante was terrific. I mean, you had a monkey, like an orangutan that smokes weed in this. And also you had other people like Nick Swartzen, Jonah Hill was in this. Linda Cardellini. This movie kind of made me have a bit of a crush on Linda Cardellini, to be honest with you. Like, she was terrific in this. And there's, of course, lots of pot smoking in this movie. I simply love this film. It is really funny. It's just awesome. And too bad we never got around to see a sequel, because I would love to have seen another one of Grandma's Boy. It is hysterical. I mean, for some ever reason, if you never seen Grandma's Boy, I highly recommend it. It's a really funny comedy. And it's a shame that Alan Covert never really done like any more leads after Grandma's Boy. I think he did Strange Wilderness, but he wasn't that much of a lead in that. I mean, I think this was like the last time he ever led a film, which is disappointing because, say whatever you want about Adam Sandler films. Some of his cult like people like Pierre Dante and Al Cover, they are seriously some of the best part of every Sandler films, and they were really great in this. I mean, definitely check out Grandma's Boy if you've never seen it. It's a really funny gem. All right, coming in at number 6 is Pineapple Express. Now, this movie, of course, stars Seth Rogen as Stoner Dale Denton, who's like employment of rare stain of marijuana may prove fatal when he drops his roach in a panic after witnessing a murder, and so he pretty much goes on the run with his deal, played by James Franco, and of course you got a few crooked cops here who are pretty much trying get after them. You got Rosie Perez getting after them. You got Gary Cole as the drug lord in this. You have Danny McBride. He was terrific. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen this movie, but I remember really enjoying this. Seth Rogen and James Franco. I mean, those two are the stoner duos right there. Those two had great chemistry with one another. Rosie Perez, I mean, she could do comedy well. She was great. Gary Cole, I just loved in this. You also had, I think Craig Robertson was also in this too. Craig Robertson, I thought he was terrific. I mean, I could have gone with any other Seth Rogen movies. This Is the End had some marijuana smoking in it, and a few others stuff had smoking in it as well. But Pineapple Express is hands down the best stoner movie Seth Rogen has done. The movie was, of course, directed by David Gordon Green. I mean, I always thought that Judd Apatow directed this, but it was David Gordon Green who, of course, last gave us the Halloween film. Anyway, Seth Rogen and James Franco, those two just worked together perfectly, and they were just great in this film. And too bad we never got a chance to see a sequel. I mean, I know they had a sequel in This Is the End, but I'd love to see an actual sequel, to be honest with you. Alright, coming in at number 5 is, speaking of Method Man, coming in at number 5 is How High. Now, this film stars platinum rap superstars Redman and the aforementioned Method Man. And they play characters named Jamal and Sills, who are like two regular guys who smoke something magical. And so, in order ace their college entrance exam and wind up at Harvard, they pretty they find way their way the way they find a way to head to Harvard are pretty much strange, but they of course take they pretty much smoke a supernatural smoke that runs dry, and so when they of course have to start by living their wits and rely on their natural resources to of course make the grade and all. I mean, Method Man and Redman, they were just terrific in this. I mean, I really liked them both in this movie. I mean, How High is definitely a great stoner film right there. Besides Method Man and besides Method Man and Redman, you also had Mike Epps. You also had Hector Elizondo was in this. Jeffrey Jones, Fred Willard, some pretty good cast members. But it was the performances by both Method Man and Redman that makes this movie great. It's a really funny one. And of course, they have a sequel that I think is premiering today, I believe. I don't know. To be honest, I saw the trailer for the sequel, and I'm not all that interested. I mean, I've always wanted to see a sequel with just both these two, but I don't know. I'll probably check out the sequel whenever I get a chance to, but I'm not probably all that interested in it. Because, I mean, I'm not sure who the two leads who are playing their roles. I mean, but you can't top Method Man and Redman's chemistry. I mean, that's just hard to do, but who knows? Maybe How High 2 will end up being better than the first film. who knows? But anyway, coming in at number 4 is Friday. I mean, Friday is just great. You know, you got a great chemistry by Ice Cube and Mike Epps. You also had Chris Tucker, um, Tommy Tanner Lister was in this also. I always keep forgetting that guy's name, but it's yeah, Tommy Lister Jr. He was great in this. I mean, Friday is just awesome. I mean, it was directed by F. Gary Gray, who of course went on to direct Straight Outta Compton. And like in the film, you got Ice Cube who plays a character named Craig Jones who. Oh, and I'm mistaken. Mike Epps is in this one. He's in the third one. For some reason I always keep forgetting he wasn't in this one. Anyway, but anyway, both Chris Tucker and Ice Cube, those two had just awesome chemistry with one another. And now there's been talks about Friday for a long time, but I don't know. Come on, Ice Cube, get on and give us another Friday movie, man. We've been waiting for like years for another one, but who knows if it'll ever happen. But anyway, yeah, this movie is just a hysterical one. It has some really funny, memorable lines in it. You know, like I said, the chemistries were just the chemistry between Cube and Tucker really made us. I mean, Chris Tucker, he's great in Rush Hour, but his best roles is, of course, in Friday. I really love the Friday movies. I mean, the sequels aren't as good as the first film, but the first Friday is. But they're still pretty decent little gems. But like I said, I'm still hoping we get a fourth one, but who knows? Maybe it'll happen one of these days, but we'll see. Alright, coming in at number 3 is. I cannot add a best stoner list without adding these guys. Number 3 is, of course, Cheech and Chong, Up in Smoke. How can you do a best stoner movies and not even think of adding two of the best stoners, Cheech and Chong? I mean, I used to always call Cheech and Chong the Mexican Laurel and Hardy. Like, those two, their chemistries are, they're just great comedy duos. You know, you got Cheech Marin and Tommy Chong, who are pretty much some of the best, you know, stoners there was ever. I mean, those two were just great together. And after this, they did like a few other movies, which was okay, but Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke is the best movie they've done. You know, the movie got released in the 70s, and it still holds up today. You know, I mean, in it, you got like, you know, Tommy Chong and Cheech Marin, you know, ends up like, you know, play unemployed, you know, smoking slackers and like they pretty much end up hitting the road, and so like so the drug duos are like arrested for possession of marijuana, so like they get released and all, so allowing them to continue many misadventures, and they also end up competing in a rock band where they perform a tune called "Eric My Eye." I mean, this is really a funny road trip film. I mean, I did my top 10 favorite road trip movies years ago, and I should have added this one to my list. It's a really funny film. I mean, it's a comedy. It's a 70s comedy classic. You know, these two are just the best duos there is. Really funny film. If you guys never seen Up in Smoke or any of the Cheech and Chong stuff, check it out. I mean, they were pretty much the godfathers of marijuana, if you want to look at it. They were just great in this. Alright. Now, my number 2 favorite is Harold and Kumar. I mean, Cheech and Chong are great, but Harold and Kumar are just the best. I mean, of course, you got Cal Penn, John Cho is in this. Great cameo by no, Neil Patrick Harris, who plays himself in this. I mean, I'm actually going to go with the first Harold and Kumar. I mean, the last two, Escape from Guantanamo Bay and the Christmas one, they were good, but the White Castle one was the best. I mean, a very Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. They're mainly going on a road trip to go White Castle. I mean, that's just actually that's an interesting premise right there. I mean, they end up having the munchies for White Castles, but because there's not really a White Castle that's opening around them, they go further down just for White Castles, and of course they have misadventures down the line, including like a raccoon. They end up getting arrested at one point. I just love Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. It's just really funny. I mean, if you guys never had a chance to check out any of the Harold and Kumar films, I highly recommend it. And I mean, I'll still be down to see another one, but I don't know if we'll ever see a fourth one. Maybe we will, but John Cho and Cal Penn has been working on other stuff, and also I don't know if we'll ever see another one, but who knows? Anything could happen. All right, my number one favorite stoner movie. I mean, what is better than Cheech and Chong and Harold and Kumar? My number one favorite, I'm just gonna say now, is Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Jay and Silent Bob are both of my favorite stoners there is. I mean, Kevin Smith. This is actually also probably my favorite Kevin Smith film. It's a really funny one. I mean, in it, like they end up, Jay and Silent Bob, played by Jason Mewes, and Kevin Smith learns that like a Blunt Man Chronic movie is being made, featuring their comic book counterparts, and so they end up going on like a trip to stop the movie from being made because there's like lots of people who are trolling, and you know how the internet works. But yeah, this movie is just fun. I mean, Jason, like Jay and Silent Bob, or mainly smoke weed a whole lot in the film. And of course, there's also a orangutan in this film as well. Not to mention, you also had a few other, cameos in this. Like you have a cameo by Ben Affleck, Matt Damon was in this, Jason Lee, Will Ferrell, Shannon Elizabeth was in this, Jason Biggs. I mean, you had lots of great actors in this. I mean, heck, Jay and Silent Bob even got hyped with Scooby in the gang. With that Scooby scene in Jay and Silent Bob is just hysterical because Kevin Smith once told a story that he was trying to get like an R-rated Scooby Doo movie made, but he can never really got around to it, and so they of course interpreted something like that into this. I mean, I would love to have seen an R-rated Scooby Doo film, but that will never ever happen. Anyway, yeah, Jay and Silent Bob is just the best. I mean, I probably could have gone with any other ones featuring Jay and Silent Bob, but films like Dogma and Chasing Amy and Clerks, they weren't really the center part of the film. So I'm actually adding this one because they're the center part of this movie, and also, and of course, one of my anticipated movies coming this year is the new Jay and Silent Bob movie called Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. I think it's gonna be called. I mean, I could watch it. I could watch this movie almost every day and all day. It's just hysterical. If you guys still never seen it, I highly recommend it. It's a really funny film. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. Number 10, High School. 9, The Whackness. 8, Half Baked. 7, Grandma's Boy. 6, Pineapple Express. 5, How High. 4, Friday. 3, Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke. 2, Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. 1, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Now, there's probably a few others I could have added. Let me stoner movies. Let's see. I never seen Mac and Devin go to high school. I should check that one out. It has Snoop Dogg in it, so I mean he's the Godfather of weed right there. Let's see. Big Lebowski, Super Jaime. Let's see. There's a movie called Evil Bong, which is kind of ridiculous. Fast Times is a good one. Lots of really good ones here. Anyway, let me leave you guys. What are some of your favorite stoner movies? Drop a comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is Thomas L. signing off.